today's video, we're talking about cryptocurrency Helium, or HNT, and how people around me are currently making upwards of $500 or more in passive income from mining HNT. Now, of course, that's part of the reason I got interested in the project was that dollar figure that was thrown out. Obviously, that's 100% dependent on the price of HNT, so whether or not that's sustainable, we'll find out over the long term. But I was interested in the project, and I ended up buying a miner myself, which should be shipped around 8 to 12 weeks from now. But in this video, I'm going to go over what Helium is, right? How you can get started with mining it, and then obviously once I get the miner itself, I'll make a follow-up video. And this is kind of an experimentation for me when it comes to mining, but this is much different than Bitcoin or Ethereum. It's not proof of work, it's proof of coverage, which we'll also cover in the video. So the first thing that's popping up in your head is probably, what is Helium and why do I care about it? Well, Helium's technology is essentially creating a peer-to-peer wireless infrastructure for the Internet of Things. And now the token itself for Helium only came out in 2019, but the company itself, Helium, was founded in 2013 by Sean Fanning, who is a co-creator of Napster, along with people like Helium and Sean Carey. And here's a list of some of the investors that are backing the company. Now you have people like Mark Benioff, who's the CEO of Salesforce, and then you have venture capital firms like Google Ventures. So it's good to see that it's also supported by venture capital. So who's actually using this network? And it really comes down to companies that may have devices that need to connect to the internet but are transferring little amounts of data. Now, the normal infrastructure that's set up with telecom companies like HNT or Comcast is more expensive versus using something like Helium that allows it to be more affordable for wireless connectivity. So you have companies like Lime, who's an electric scooter company, that may have a scooter that needs to deliver information about where that scooter is at. They can use Helium instead of the normal infrastructure that's currently out there for internet connectivity. And there's other use cases out there. There's a nice case study section on the website for companies like Salesforce. It's Internet of Things innovation. You have asset tracking, building and asset monitoring. But it essentially shows how different larger companies are using Helium to solve problems that they're seeing in the current environment today. So that gives you a nice 30,000 foot view of the company, what the technology kind of does. Now, how do people make money from it, and what exactly do they need to do mining? That's what we're going to cover now. If you go back to the helium.com website and go to the mine section, you'll see these different devices that have basically been vetted by the company itself to say you can buy these miners, set them up, and essentially you're creating a hotspot for the network to run through. So you're providing a hotspot for these devices to connect and actually use the technology that Helium has created. What's also cool is you can see the network map as it exists right now. So currently in the world, there's 28,716 hotspots, and whatever city you live in, you can see how many other hotspots are currently set up. So I'm currently in Chicago, so you can see, since it's an urban area, there's actually a ton of hotspots already in Chicago. So what's cool is I can click into these hotspots and see their activity and kind of get an idea of how much HNT is being mined from these different hotspots, because it will show you the activity. So if you click into a random hotspot and go to the hotspot details, you'll see that the rewards for this specific hotspot have been 48 over the past 30 days, 0.87 for the past 24 hours. And so you can look in your area to see what other hotspots have been generating in terms of HNT for providing that proof of coverage and mining. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a miner set up yet. I ordered one last week. I'm making this video kind of as a way to document the process from buying the miner all the way to setting it up and seeing the results. So this is more of, hey, we ordered the miner, we're gonna get it in 8 to 12 weeks, and then you're just gonna kind of follow the process with me. And I figure, hey, it's a fun way to experiment with mining and get involved with cryptocurrency in another way than just investing in coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and kind of just buying and holding. So we're going to talk about hypothetically what you could be making with the current price of HNT. If you go to coinmarketcap.com, you'll see that Helium's currently trading at $14.37. Now, if you go back a couple months, even at the beginning of the year, it was only trading around $1, $1.50. So with the huge explosion in price, that's probably why you're seeing more videos about HNT and how profitable it is for mining, which obviously drew me in to even look into this project more. Also, I had a buddy that texted me, said, hey, have you looked into Helium? And so with the higher price, there's more profitability. But even if the price comes down 80% and goes back to like this $2 range, it still seems like a pretty good return on investment. So let's talk about that. If we do a little scenario analysis and I look at the miners or hotspots around me, they're getting around 40 HNT per month. Now, if the price of HNT crashes to $1, $2, you're talking about $40 to $80 in passive income per month, which is still pretty solid. Now, if it stays at this $14 range, you're talking over $500 per month in passive income, which in my eyes is just absolutely nuts. Because when you compare it against the cost of the miners, which on the website shows you which miners have been vetted and which are basically Helium approved. For me, I bought the Bobcat miner. So if you go to that website, and order now the Bobcat 300, you're talking about something that is $429. Now, for me, when I went through the whole process, it was around $525 for all the fees along with shipping. So going back to this chart, if it costs me $525 for a miner and the prices stay at this level and I'm making $560 per month, that's a payback period on the piece of equipment in 1 month, and then you're just cash flowing, which is, like I said, pretty nutty. So this whole thing really revolves around the price of HNT. Can it sustain this higher level or go higher? If it goes higher and I'm able to actually pay off this miner in 1 month, I'm basically testing the waters right now. So this whole process of me documenting it, talking about it, I just want to go through the process to show you guys kind of my experience with it firsthand. Now, my only experience with miners when it comes to Helium is the Bobcat Miner 300, because that was the only one in stock. All the other ones were basically sold out. And what's a little different is you can't pay with a credit card. It's all through cryptocurrency, which, when you first do that or you first see it, you're kind of worried like, oh, am I getting scammed? What gave me some peace of mind was seeing other people already get the Bobcat miners and have gone through the experience and have set up the miners and have had success. So that gives me some peace of mind. And I did go through the process of going through Muggle Pay, paying with USDC. So I just bought USDC through Coinbase, sent it over, and you basically pay the price of the miner, plus you add the processing fee. So Coinbase does it for you. Realistically, you put in the $523.70, put it to the wallet that's supplied once you generate this order, and then Coinbase will add the fees automatically. But at the end of the day, the company will get the $523.70 and you'll get a confirmation that it will be shipped. So the last question is really, how do I earn HNT once you get the miner and have it set up as a hotspot? You get it through 3 things: proof of coverage, relay device data, and then consensus groups. Proof of coverage is a new one for me because I know proof of work as well as proof of stake. So this is a new consensus algorithm that essentially is making sure that your hotspot is actually where it's at and it's functioning correctly. So what will happen is there'll be these challenges where a hotspot will be selected and a piece of information will be sent to that hotspot. Basically, it has to receive that information and then send it to a different hotspot that's nearby, and it goes on to basically make sure that your coverage is working and that anyone that's using the Helium network, such as Lime or Salesforce, can actually rely on the network in that area and assume that all the hotspots are actually working correctly. The second one is relaying device data. So this is more of the people using the network and you earning HNT once you're actually transferring data over the network. And then you have consensus groups that are randomly selected. So basically trusted hotspots are elected to be in these consensus groups, and then they can earn HNT by validating transactions and adding blocks to the blockchain. Now, I'm not going to pretend like I fully understand this consensus protocol, but there is a website that basically describes what it is, how it works, and all the details behind it. So if you do want to read the details, I'm not going to try to sum it up in 20-30 seconds. So I'll put the link in the description below for you to check out. So yeah, just documenting the whole process with getting involved with Helium, as well as how to set up a miner. So there'll be follow-up videos from here. Excited to get that miner, hopefully see if we can make some money, if we got scammed, all that good stuff. And I'll kind of try to document the whole process for you guys so you can learn along the way. If you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to Main Street Wolf, where we talk about cryptocurrency, we talk about investing, basically anything money. That's what we do here. Thanks guys for watching, and have a great day.